Good morning, friends. It is Friday. Thank God. Friday is finally here. Half a day till the weekend starts. Thank goodness. Here in Southeast Texas, it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. We are done with the freezes. Hope you are too, wherever you are. Actually, supposed to be get a little warm this weekend, up in the 70s and stuff, which is good. Got some things to do around here before I settle in to watch some basketball. Speaking of which, this is our review of the basketball that happened this week. Had some great games, had some upsets, and then we're going to go over what's going on this weekend, which we have quite a damn few good games there. A lot of them, not as many on Sunday because of Super Bowl, but still got a couple of good matchups on Sunday. We'll go over that. Before we start, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Let's go ahead and get started. Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar filed a lawsuit to get an extra year of eligibility. Says his years in junior college should not count against him. We'll see what happens there. In the meantime, NCAA denied Ole Miss appeal for Trinidad Chambliss for 6-year eligibility. So Joey Aguilar continuing his fight. NCAA told Ole Miss, nope, Chambliss can't do it. So I don't know. We'll see what all happens with all that kind of stuff. Hey, Mountain West Conference. They announced a 6-year media rights package with CBS, Fox, and the streaming platform Kiswe, which I don't. Actually, that's the first time I've ever heard of Kiswe. I don't know if they're new, they're coming out, they've been around. Maybe I've just been under a rock. I don't know, but I've never heard of them. And a 5-year deal with Warner Brothers, which I'm happy about this because the Mountain West, they got some good sports, especially in football and basketball. And years ago, I had that Mountain West network. I used to watch a lot of stuff on there. I switched providers. I don't have it anymore. So I'm excited about this. I mean, they're going to have Fox, Fox Sports, Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, WB, CBS, CBS Sports. So that's good. Maybe I don't know if they're trying to get away from the Mountain West network, but anyway, we'll have more of their games on TV. Notre Dame, they are set to hire Illinois defensive coordinator Aaron Henry as their defensive backs coach and co-defensive coordinator. I wonder if they've offered him a lot more money because why would you go down from DC to those two? I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those two. It just seems DC would pay more. So I'm betting Notre Dame said, hey, we'll pay you more if you come do this for us. Montana Grizzlies head football coach Bobby Hauck announces his retirement. He coached the Grizz for the last 14 seasons. He was 151-43 with Montana, 8 Big Sky championships, 4 national championship game appearances, 20 FCS playoff wins, 13 playoff appearances in his tenure. He retires the winningest football coach in Big Sky Conference history. Wide receivers coach Bobby Kennedy. He's going to take over as head coach. Hell of a career. Congratulations, Coach Hauck, man. Whatever you're going to do up there in Montana. Hunt, fish, spend time with the kids, grandkids. Enjoy your retirement. You had a hell of a career, bud. Gus Malzahn, we mentioned that last time he retired from FSU. Seminoles promote co-offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach Tim Harris as their new OC. Georgia defensive tackle London Seymour, he was arrested after he and 3 others allegedly caused damage to 11 dorm rooms in a dormitory. On December 5th and 6th, he was actually charged with 11 felony counts. His lawyer said that is just too serious for what he did. I don't know. Go ask the people who got the door all screwed up and woken up in the middle of the night. Go see what they think about that. You a fan of the LA Bowl? You watched it religiously every year? No more LA Bowl. After 5 years, the LA Bowl is done. Washington quarterback Devin Williams said in his whole little I'm transferring out, no, I'm staying, in that situation about a month ago. Says he got really bad advice in that situation. Remember, Washington was prepared to take him to court and file a lawsuit because they considered him signing basically a legal contract with NIL and all that stuff. Changed his tune, said, I'm staying. Then a lot of media said he's going to have to earn back the trust of his school, his teammates, his coaches, fans, everybody. But yeah, now he came out and said, I got really bad advice. So it's like, yeah. think you were just afraid to be your ass suit off, and you said that's why you turned things around there. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Monday, let's go back to big ones, upsets, and all kinds of crazy stuff that happened in college basketball this week. Monday, number 11 Kansas beat number 13 Texas Tech 64-61. Kansas's Peters led the way, 19 points. Watts led the way for Texas Tech with 19 points and 12 rebounds. Kansas, 45% from the field. Texas Tech only 32%. Kansas 6 3-pointers. Texas Tech did make 12, so they made 6 more. Kansas was 10 for 13 from the free throw line, where Texas Tech was 3 for 5 from the free throw line. Kansas turned the ball over 15 times. Texas Tech missed 6 shots in the last 2 minutes and 26 seconds of that game. Portland State moved to 15-6. They beat Idaho State 88-65. Henderson for Portland State, 30.7 assists. 9-14 Tennessee Tech beat 14-8 Tennessee State, 90-85. 20-3 Stephen F. Austin beat 18-5 McNeese, 67-60. Stephen F. Austin's Thompson, 27.7 rebounds. McNeese, their leading scorers, Archie, only 16 points in that one. Stephen F. Austin, 37% from the field. McNeese was only 34. McNeese did have 4 more turnovers in that game than Stephen F. Austin. Number 14, North Carolina beat Syracuse by 10. North Carolina's Wilson, 22 points, 9 rebounds, followed by Vesser, 17 points, 11 rebounds. Howard moved to 14-9. They beat Coppin State, 72-53. Taylor III for Howard, 21 points, 9 rebounds. Moving on to Tuesday, San Diego State moved to 16-6, beat Wyoming, 72-63. USC moved to 17-6, beat 15-8 Indiana, 81-75. USC's Chad Baker-Mazar left the game, possible MCL sprain. That was a couple days ago, so they may know more about it now. UCLA, they moved to 16-7, beat Rutgers 98-66. Rutgers was last layup in this game for points was at 3:37 left. So, number 18, Virginia beat Pitt by 20. Virginia had 14 more rebounds. Pitt had a total of 17 turnovers in that game. Number 19, St. Louis beat Davidson 91-82. St. Louis, as of Tuesday, was on a 15-game win streak. Belmont, they moved to 21-3. They beat Drake 103-90. Both these teams combined for 31 three-pointers, so they were shooting it from downtown a lot. 14-9, Boise State beat 16-7 Nevada, 91-87 in overtime. Even though they lost, Camper Jr. from Nevada, 35 points in that game. Grand Canyon moved to 15-7, beat Air Force 81-57. Grand Canyon led this game by 30 at halftime and just kept on going. NC State, they moved to 17-6, beat 15-7 SMU by 1. SMU, 2-game losing streak. Tennessee Martin moved to 18-5, beat Arkansas Little Rock by 3. SIU Edwardsville moved to 15-9. They beat Lindenwood 78-72. SIUE 5-1 in the last 6 games. Number 22 St. John's beat DePaul 68-56. That was a 1-point game at halftime. Bradley moved to 16-8. Beat Valparaiso 72-65. Bradley's bench, they all scored 28 points. Murray State moved to 17-7. Beat Illinois Chicago 81-74. Murray State, they are 1-4 in their last 5 games. Number 3, UConn beat Xavier 92-60. UConn, an 18-game win streak. Number 4, Duke beat Boston College 67-49. Bouger for Duke, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 5 steals. Number 25, Tennessee beat Ole Miss 84-66. Tennessee's at Mint, 28 points. Bowling Green, they moved to 14-9. They beat Ball State 77-52. Dayton moved to 15-8. They beat St. Bonaventure by 2. With that win, Dayton broke a 4-game losing streak. VCU moved to 17-6. They beat Fordham 63-59. 10-13, Southern Illinois beat 15-8 Illinois State 54-50. Southern Illinois' House had 22 points in that game. UMass, they moved to 15-9. They beat Central Michigan 95-89. UMass's Banks, 37 points in that game. Was that right? 37 points? Yeah, 37 points in that game. Texas, they moved to 14-9. Beat South Carolina 84-75. Kent State moved to 17-6, beat Toledo by 3. Kent State, 10 3-pointers in that game, and they grabbed 12 more rebounds. Number 23, Miami of Ohio beat 14-9 Buffalo by 2. Those two teams combined for 28 total turnovers in that game. Akron, they moved to 19-4. They beat Eastern Michigan by 2. Eastern Michigan, 2 missed shots in the last 20 seconds of that one. Moving on to Wednesday, number 8, Houston beat 17-5 Central Florida, 79-55. Houston's Flemings led the way, 18 points. Central Florida, not one player scored over 9 points in that game. They only shot 31% from the field. Houston, 55% from the field. They also grabbed 38 rebounds and had 7 steals against Central Florida. 11-12, Minnesota beat number 10, Michigan State, 76-73. Minnesota's Crocker Johnson, 22.7 rebounds. Carr for Michigan State, 16 points. Minnesota, 48% from the field. Spartans were only 45%. Minnesota hit 10 three-pointers. They were 22 for 31 from the free throw line. That's their second win over a ranked opponent this week. So they're 11-12. It may be too late for them, but I mean, with those 2 wins right there could get them on some kind of momentum tear. We'll see what happens. Number 24, Louisville beat Notre Dame, 72-65. Louisville had 44 rebounds in that game. 15-7, Alabama beat 17-5 Texas A&M, 197. Aggies missed 2 free throws and a 3-pointer in the last 3 seconds of that game. Liberty moved to 19-3, beat Delaware 75-69. Liberty has not lost since December 10th. That's incredible. 17-7, Eastern Tennessee State beat 16-8 Furman by 4 in overtime. Furman did have a 12-point lead at halftime. Tulsa moved to 20-3, beat Florida Atlantic by 2. Green for Tulsa, 27 points in that one. 19-3, Utah State beat 18-5 New Mexico by 20. Utah State is now on a 4-game win streak. Iowa moved to 17-5. They beat Washington by 10. The Huskies actually led by 7 at halftime. 11-14, Portland beats number 6 Gonzaga. That's crazy. 87-80. Portland's Foxwell, 27 points. Gonzaga's Ike led the way, 27 points, 10 rebounds. No other starter for Gonzaga had over 9 points, though. Portland, 59% from the field. Turned the ball over 15 times against Gonzaga. Still managed to win it. Gonzaga only shot 40% from the field. Their 15-game win streak was snapped by 11-14 Portland. That's nuts. Number 20, Clemson beat 14-9 Stanford by 2. Clemson on a 3-game win streak now. Santa Clara, they moved to 20-5. They beat 15-10 Pacific, 71-56. Santa Clara started a 7-game win streak, or in the middle of a 7-game win streak. Seattle moved to 15-9. They beat Pepperdine, 83-81. That was a 1-point game at halftime. St. Mary's, they moved to 20-4. They beat San Diego 87-60. St. Mary's, those bench players, 37 points. Number 5, Illinois beat their rival Northwestern by 40. Northwestern's leading scorer was Singleton. No, but she had 8 points. They also had 28 less rebounds than Illinois. 16-6, Oklahoma State pulls an upset, beats number 16 BYU 99-92. Cowboys Roy, 30 points, followed by Curry, who had 18.6 rebounds. They shot 55% from the field. BYU's Dabansta, 36.7 rebounds. Saunders behind him, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 50% from the field, and they turned the ball over 16 times. And it looks like their fans, or Oklahoma State, is in trouble, throwing around all kinds of things they shouldn't be saying to BYU players, and I think the Big 12 is in the middle of figuring out how to fine them if they haven't already done already. So the fans, instead of all this fining, just take the win away. If it's something that ugly, just take the win away. I mean, shit. I mean, what the fans care? It's not coming out of their pocketbook. Kentucky moved to 16-7, beat Oklahoma 94-78. Kentucky is 7-1 in the last 8 games. This middle-of-the-road Kentucky team. Austin Peay moved to 16-6. They beat 15-9 Lipscomb, 87-76. Austin Peay's Parker, 30 points, 9 rebounds. Cal moved to 17-6. They beat Georgia Tech, 90-85. Diames for Cal, 29 points. Sam Houston, they moved to 16-7, beat UTEP 70-66. Sam Houston's on a 7-game win streak. Wichita State, they moved to 14-9. They beat Charlotte by 10. 1-point game at halftime. 13-10 Duquesne beat 20-3 George Mason, 71-65. George Mason's 2-2. They've lost in the last 4 games. That's nuts. Troy moves to 16-8, beat Georgia State 74-63. 28-20 at halftime is what that game was. Navy 18-6. They beat Lafayette by 15. Marshall moves to 15-8. They beat Southern Miss 81-77. Winthrop moves to 17-8. They beat Radford by 2. Winthrop hasn't lost a game since New Year's Eve. They are 9-0. 15-10. Robert Morris beat 15-9 Wright State 72-66. South Florida, they moved to 15-8, beat UTSA 109-88. St. Joseph's moved to 15-8. They beat George Washington by 3. High Point, they moved to 21-4, beat Charleston Southern 80-55. High Point is 5-1 in their last 6 games. St. Thomas, Minnesota moved to 19-6. They beat South Dakota State 77-62. Appalachian State moved to 16-9. They beat 16-7 South Alabama 65-57. 17-5 Villanova beat 16-7 Seton Hall 72-60. Wofford moved to 16-8, beat VMI 81-67. Moving on to last night. Charleston moved to 16-8. They beat North Carolina A&T 78-62. Charleston is on a 5-game win streak. West Virginia moved to 15-8. They beat Cincinnati 59-54. Hofstra's 15-9. They beat Northeastern 80-63. That win for Hofstra ends their 5-game losing streak. LIU Brooklyn is 15-8. They beat New Haven by 5. New Haven only 16 points in the first half. St. Peter's is 13-8. They beat Manhattan 80-75. St. Peter's is 6-3 in the last month. Marist, they are 16-7. They beat Rider 81-52. Marist is 8-2 in the last month. Merrimack is 15-9. They beat Mount St. Mary's 87-70. 15-8 William & Mary beat 19-4 UNC Wilmington 85-78. William & Mary's 4-5 in the last month. Siena 17-7 beat 14-10 Iona 79-72. Iona actually led this game by 7 at halftime. 12-12 Monmouth beat 14-10 Stony Brook by 1. Monmouth scored 4 points in the last 17 seconds of that game. 10-14 Chattanooga is 15-9. They beat Mercer 79-75. Mercer led by 3 at halftime. Quinnipiac, they are 16-9. Beat Kansas, however you say it, 75-60. Quinnipiac 6-4 in the last month. Fairfield is 15-10. They beat Sacred Heart 92-87. Fairfield is 6-3 in the last month. Number 2 Michigan beat Penn State 110-69. Michigan's Burnett 31 points in that game. He hit 7 3-pointers. The team hit 15 3-pointers total. And they grabbed 20 more rebounds than the Nittany Lions. UMBC, they are 14-8. They beat Binghamton 79-62. UMBC 7-2 in the last month. 11-14 Denver beat 19-6 North Dakota State. That loss ends the Bison's 9-game win streak. 14-11 Utah Tech beat 14-8 UT Arlington by 3 in 2 overtimes. 14-9 UC Davis beat 15-8 UC Santa Barbara by 10. And 11-11 Memphis beat 14-9 UAB by 10. So as you can see, there's some teams losing that really can't afford to lose, but they're losing. Some of those tight ones where you only got 5, maybe 6 wins, or you're 5 or 6 wins above your losing record. Those guys can't afford to lose. A lot of them are. All right, so this weekend, coming up, a few games tonight. They're interesting. 6 p.m. on ESPN2. 15-8 Dayton versus 17-6 VCU. A 7 p.m. Fox game that doesn't feature Michigan. Wow. Number 3 UConn versus number 22 St. John's. And then CBS Sports Network at 7 o'clock, 16-8 Bradley versus 14-9 Northern Iowa. Moving on to tomorrow, 11 a.m. Big Ten Network. Number 9 Nebraska tries to break that 2-game losing streak. I think they could probably do it against 9-14 Rutgers. 11 a.m. ESPN. Number 18 Virginia versus 13-10 Syracuse. 11 a.m. on ESPN2. Number 21 Arkansas versus Mississippi State. 11 a.m. ACC Network. Number 24 Louisville versus 11-11 Wake Forest. 11 a.m. on Fox, 16-6 Wisconsin versus 15-8 Indiana. 11 a.m. on CW, 16-7 Virginia Tech versus 17-6 NC State. 1 p.m. on ESPN, number 7 Iowa State versus 13-9 Baylor. 1 p.m. on CBS Sports Network, 13-9 Missouri State versus 19-3 Liberty. 1 p.m. on ESPN2, 11-11 Ole Miss versus 14-9 Texas. You don't know what you're going to get because Texas is up and down. They might lose this one. You never know. 1:30 on Fox, number 11 Kansas. They're playing 9-13 Utah. 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus, number 19 St. Louis versus 7-16 LaSalle. 2 p.m. ESPN Plus, 14-9 Bowling Green versus 14-10 Arkansas State. 2 p.m. ESPN Plus, 16-7 Sam Houston versus 12-10 Louisiana Tech. 2:30 on the SEC Network, a sad, hurting 11-12 Oklahoma Sooners basketball team has to go to number 15 Vanderbilt. It is what it is. 3 p.m. on ESPN, 16-6 Oklahoma State, who's on a high, takes on number 1 Arizona. 3 p.m. on ESPN Plus, number 23 Miami of Ohio versus 15-8 Marshall. 3 p.m. on ESPN2, 15-7 Alabama versus 14-8 Auburn. Do they call that one the Iron Bowl? Probably not, huh? Because it's not played in a football field. But anyway, big rivalry. 3 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 15-8 St. Joseph's versus 23 George Mason, who's pissed because they've been losing lately. 3 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 14-9 Buffalo versus 16-7 South Alabama. 3 p.m. ESPN Plus, 14-7 UT Arlington versus 16-6 Utah Valley. 5 p.m. on the ESPN Plus, a pissed off number 6 Gonzaga goes to play 13-12 Oregon State. 5 p.m. SEC Network, 16-6 Georgia goes to Baton Rouge, plays 14-8 LSU. 5 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 13-9 Idaho versus 13-10 Montana. Good little border war there. 5 p.m. on ESPN2, 19-4 Akron versus 16-8 Troy. 5:30 on ESPN, number 4 Duke versus their rival, number 14 North Carolina. And I always think, why is this game always so early? I mean, this game should be the primetime game at 7:30 or 8. But it seems like every year it's at 5:30. Going through the schedule, though, for the rest of Saturday night, I can see maybe why they moved it back down, because they want it to be the kickoff, I guess, because there's some damn good games coming up Saturday night. 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 15-7 Marist versus 14-10 Fairfield. 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 14-10 Purdue Fort Wayne versus 15-9 Wright State. And here we go. Here's Saturday night. You're probably gonna need a couple screens. 7 p.m. on Fox, number 5 Illinois versus number 10 Michigan State. 7 p.m. ACC Network, number 20 Clemson versus 17-6 Cal. 7 p.m. CBS Sports Network, 19-3 Utah State versus 13-10 Wyoming. 7:30 SEC Network, number 17 Florida versus 17-5 Texas A&M. 7:30 on ESPN, number 25 Tennessee versus 16-7 Kentucky. 9 p.m. CBS Sports Network, 14-9 Boise State versus 18-5 New Mexico. 9 p.m. on ESPNU, UC Irvine versus UC Santa Barbara. Both of them are 15-7. 9 p.m. on FS1, 12-11 Washington plays 16-7 UCLA. Good old Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-12 battle. Now Big Ten battle. 9:30 on ESPN, number 8 Houston versus number 16 BYU. You know they're pissed off. 10:30 on ESPN2, 14-11 San Francisco versus 20-4 St. Mary's. 11 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 15-8 UC San Diego versus 16-5 Hawaii. Too bad that was not on TV, regular TV, but they want us to pay to watch it. And then Sunday, like I said, because of Super Bowl, you got a few games. A couple are interesting. 11 a.m. on the ESPNU on Sunday morning, 20-3 Tulsa versus 15-8 South Florida. 12 p.m. on CBS, rivalry game, number 2 Michigan versus 14-7 Ohio State. 12 p.m. on Fox, number 13 Texas Tech versus 14-8 West Virginia. And then 1 p.m. on the ESPN Plus, 14-9 Wichita State versus 13-9 Tulane. Some basketball there if you want to watch the pregame and all that. All right, so that's it. like I said, Friday, got half a day till the weekend starts. A lot of good basketball, especially tomorrow. Some good games on Sunday. I believe college softball has started. I think I saw some things online about people attending games. I don't know if they're scrimmages or actual games, but that's getting kicked off. Not this weekend, but definitely next weekend. Baseball, that'll be soon to follow. They're fixing it kicked off too. Basketball starting to get into that stretch there of who you can figure out is going to be in, who's not going to be in. So everything's pretty great right now in college sports. We'll be back probably Monday to sum up everything that happens over these next couple of days in college basketball. Man, have a great weekend. I hope the weather's going to be great. It's going to be gorgeous here, thank God. Hope you have a great weekend. Be safe. We will see you back on Monday.